the whole damn verse spinning around you with open arms. It's a race against time that plunges you deep into the black. What are you gonna do when the void stares back? You'll never stop the revolution. Time to begin your evolution. Take a leap of faith. You gotta break the illusion. You gotta make your own solution. Take a leap of faith. The future's just a void, jump away.
Greetings and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim. I use he, him pronouns. And this is our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw. I am playing Cole Hayden, Human Gunslinger. And we're going to go around and say hi to everybody and see who they are and who they are playing. And we shall start, as always, with Anino. Hello.
Hey everyone, my name's Anino. I use he, him pronouns, and today I play Jimenez. No, I do not play Jimenez. I play
Crossover!
I play Rekmarat, the Aviora Druid.
Awesome.
And so it begins.
Okay. And Cazimi, who aren't you playing today?
I'm Marcy Fitzrandolph. I'm playing Cazimi. No, I am Cazimi. See, you've totally... You guys have just, lost it. This is this whole, what Zoom am I in world, okay?
Chaos! Sorry, go ahead.
If you restart. This is not live right now.
Oh, sure. Nobody's watching. That's okay.
No, it's fine. So I'm playing Clangswell Nunu Fritz Holdsbottom Thunderstruck, the space gnome, and hopefully I will remember that.
Awesome. Hi, May.
Hi, Jim. Hi, everybody. I'm May. I play Lasness Chain Tower, the Star Dwarf Paladin. We both use she, her pronouns.
Awesome. Now let us head down to Mem. Hello again.
Hello again. I'm Mem.
Are you sure?
I think so. I double checked my name to be sure.
That's what it says on the overlay.
I'm Narita Colleen. We both use she, her pronouns. I'm so sorry.
Awesome. Excellent. Alyssa, save us.
Hey everybody, my name is Alyssa, and I play everybody else. So, with all the other games on this channel, we'll be using the safety tools X card, N card, and the O card. If we come upon subject matter that crosses the line for any of my players, they can type an X into a Zoom chat or make an X symbol, and we stop, rewind, add a dash of retcon, and it never happened. If we're kind of towing the line and it's okay to have the subject in the game, but we don't need a graphic description, that's where the N comes into play. And if at any point we're kind of getting into dark matters, like we usually are, and it's getting tense and you just want to check in, you can type an O. You can type an O with a question mark to make sure everybody's doing okay. And if you are, type a big old O. And if you're not, feel free to respond however you need to, and we will adjust accordingly. That being said, last time on Ghosts of Saltmaw, after evacuating the Sahuagin survivors of the crashed world ship Dagobah from Chiron, And seeing them to safety, the party returned to Saltmaw with a void crystal from the wrecked ship, a mysterious shard of a deep purple prismatic substance that they have yet to identify, and 20 orphaned changelings. While Narita negotiated a place for the little ones on board the world ship Manan, which was still docked at the space station, the home of the earnest young seeker Oceanus, Cole went along to give the Manan's captain Azaline a piece of his mind. Meanwhile, a little farther down the greenhouse promenade, Rekmara took advantage of the downtime to practice his wild shape, but was somewhat disappointed by the station master's lack of foresight and the scanty selection of alien beasts to study. The lizard folk fighter Thick Boy was exercising his pet crocodile and suggested that if the druid was looking for something with even bigger, sharper teeth, he might have been interested in studying Old Thousand Teeth, the giant croc that inhabited Fool's Marsh back on Chiron, but Rekmara was less than enthusiastic about a third visit to that place. So while Rekmara was scoping out prospective beast shapes, Fritz was cloistered in their quarters with their new friend, Shern, a telepathic, not lobster, who had stowed away in Fritz's backpack when the party left Chiron. Shern claimed to be an overgrown version of the roaches highly sought after by pilots across the verse, so Fritz contrived to build a secret habitat for Shern within the bulkheads of the ship. Lasness spent her downtime at the Order of the Sepulchre HQ, filing the requisite paperwork to get her nanotech upgraded and submitting her report of the Chiron incident to her superiors in triplicate. After the hatchlings were safely rehomed, Narita returned to the Space Ghost while Cole tried to glean some intel on the ship's shady past. When his efforts came up short, Fritz tagged in, and Lee Watson took Cole out to blow off some steam at the station's rec center. Fritz was able to set up a meeting with a member of the mysterious Scarlet Brotherhood who advised them to follow the money and suggested that the money pointed to council member Gellin Primewater. After the meeting, the stealthy gnome managed to overhear some other spacers discussing their search for a piece of ancient tech and placed a surreptitious tracking beacon on one of them on their way out. So we rejoin the party as the simulated sunrise crests over the domed ceiling at the climbing wall, where Lee and Cole have recently shared a genuine heart-to-heart just before Lee tossed Cole over the side of a fake cliff. So everyone has had an opportunity to take a long rest. What are you doing this morning? For a given definition of morning in the black.
Lasness is admiring the simulated sunrise, sighing and saying, I know they're man-made, but they're truly majestic, and it doesn't get any better than this.
And Narita, as you go about your morning or beginning of the day routine, you might notice that your little Wizmo friend has taken to decorating the Space Ghost, placing wads of paper in cupboards in the galley, and painting little spiders on the outside of the cabinets.
She's happy to encourage the paper. It's easy enough to deal with, but the spiders, we can't deal with the spiders.
They're not real spiders.
He's got to wash those off.
Now
No
you gotta
Ted.
teach
No
your
Ted.
Wizmo how to clean.
Give him a little towel in his little hands and show him how to do it. But also, who taught him such artistry?
He just keeps doing even if he's not necessarily facing a surface.
I love this creature more than life itself. She just gives up. He kind of pats his head and lets him go about his business. Eurydice is kind of moseying around, seeing who else is up, wondering how everyone else's night went, especially the people who had eventful nights.
Well, I suppose that would be Fritz and Cole.
Yeah, well, I figure Fritz at some point decided there was an interim stopping point on building a habitat for my new friend, as it were. So Sharon and I are going to have a bit of a, I would say heart to heart, but more like a brain to brain, about staying like within the confines of this area of the ship, because I don't want you to get too much attention. Obviously, lots of attention would be bad things. But I will try to keep you in the know about what's going on in case there are things that would be useful for you to know for your own safety and our safety, because our safety is your safety now. So this would be a useful thing. So we'll make sure that Sharon is kind of carefully packed away for the moment. Then the other thing Fritz is going to do is dial up the locator beacon and see where the member of the party that he tagged has managed to wander off to.
The spacers that you tagged, or at least the one that you put the tag on, has gone to the Spacers Guild.
And hasn't left yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Kind of hang out and see what the rest of the folks on the crew have got going in terms of directions for the day. Depending on what other people have planned, I may see if I can get a couple folks to head over to Spacers with me, but I want to make sure we're all checked in first and see if there's anything else going on.
Okay. Lastness greets Fritz and starts to talk to her about her evening, but then she realizes that her evening was pretty boring. So she says, do you think maybe we should try to look for more information on the Space Coast today?
I mean, yeah, we can continue looking at that. Is there anything particular you wanted to follow up on? Because there's a potential for some digging around related to Gellin Prime water. Not saying that he's a direct owner, but may have financial interest in the kinds of things that Space Ghost was doing previously.
Spacers is a bar, right? I'm sorry, just quick OC question.
The Spacers Guild is the guild hall where the salvage crews and people who work on spaceships that are coming and going can bunk. It's basically a hostel, and they sometimes have like gear and equipment that they rent out.
Perfect.
People that are working in the area.
I was thinking maybe we could go there to look up more information, or kind of listen around and maybe just kind of get a pulse.
Yeah, I think it might be a good idea, just because of what happened earlier when Cole went in and got noticed right away. So I went in separately and was able to do a little bit different information gathering. Maybe you want to go ahead and see if you can find anything and just radio back, and then I will continue to poke on some other things. But I don't want to be around like, oh, there's that gnome again, something's going on. So
you can count on me. I am really good at sneaking around in places like this.
I'm sure you are. You and your giant rocket hammer.
Well, I could leave Scarlet at home if you'd like.
Whatever you're comfortable with, really, it comes down to your comfort and safety and security. And who knows how many people have seen us together already, but that's okay.
All right. Well, I'll come back with lots of information.
You can also radio. You don't have to wait. If something comes up and you need me, let me know sooner. Okay?
Okay.
Great. And I think Fritz is going to head back toward the Maw Keepers again because they seem to be the font of all useful information. But at some point, Fritz will dive back into some information there.
Let me just tab over to Spacers Guild as we follow Lasness through the station.
Sorry, updating my notes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're there?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll start by going to wherever like the main room is, like where Cole was, and try to see if I could maybe turn chicken poop into chicken salad.
Okay.
Out of character note, you know that the guild that you're at now, which is where I tagged people who went to, is not the same as the bar that Cole and I separately went to the other day.
Oh, oops. I don't know how I misconstrued that.
That's okay. You've basically gone to where people that I tagged went.
After the bar.
Gotcha. All right. So what am I seeing as I move around?
Okay. So there is kind of like there's a front desk area. There is like a little cafeteria as well. You can get room and board there. Then like farther in would be like basically a barracks.
I guess I'll start at the cafeteria.
Okay. So you see a bunch of, assorted spacers, laborers, salvage crews getting their breakfast for the morning. There's a crew of folks, pilot with shades at all hours of the day.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Yes. Well, it's always night here. Never mind the fake sun.
All right. I guess I'll start by getting a nice coffee and taking a seat and just kind of listening at first, because I've learned the hard way that just going up to people and saying, "Hey, I need certain information about this," usually doesn't get me the information that I need, just from previous explorations.
Yeah. You see a young human man with this. There's a party of 4 at first. They all get breakfast. The pilot has a glass of orange juice, and there's a woman in a bomber jacket, and also a young man with kind of a utility belt. He grabs his breakfast and he says, "Oh, I'm gonna head back to the ship," and he like scurries out of there as quickly as he can go because there are too many people. And so that just leaves the pilot and the deck wizard would be your best guess.
Okay. Are they talking about anything?
They are sort of quietly discussing their plans for after breakfast. They are going to check in with their patron, who has a room at the Clockwork Goat.
I love that name. They're not talking about anything in particular, right?
No.
Okay. Do they mention the name of their ship?
No.
Or do they have like a rep on this station? Like, do I know them by sight?
You haven't been on the station very long, so you probably haven't encountered them before, but if you ask around, they have a fairly positive reputation. They're known to be pretty reliable. They get the job done. They had a run-in with some smugglers a while ago. So the smugglers and the shady types don't like them very much, but they're also known for being rather discreet themselves.
Oh, this is the perfect people to talk to Lastness about stuff. You know what? She's gonna go over and say hi.
Of course she is.
Hi.
That's subtle.
The deck wizard greets you.
Didn't you see
pilot just sips his orange juice.
Did you see Did you see the recreated sunrise this morning? It was absolutely beautiful for its simulated glory.
It's nice to have a way to tell time when you're not planetside.
Right. So, now that we're good friends, I was wondering, do you guys have any information about some really weird ships? Like, I don't know. I've heard of this one called the Space Ghost. Have you ever heard of it before? And in her mind, she's thinking, Lastness, you are smooth.
Are we friends? I don't remember you introducing yourself. I'm Gavesha.
And I'm Lastness. Oh my gosh, we're going to be best friends already. It's so nice to meet you.
You too. I think I saw the Space Ghost when we came in, but I don't really know much about it. We're out in the black working a lot, so we just got back from a job.
Really? What kind of job?
Oh, taxiing things from place to place.
Oh, I hear that.
The
We were just taxiing a whole bunch of people from this planet, and it was really bad because of the brain worms, but we shot it all from space.
Oh, that was you with the
Chiron
thing?
We shot from space and just blanket carpeted everything. It was all like pew 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 pew, and it was all like, "Wow, we're brain worms and we're dying! Oh no, we shouldn't have thought of that."
We're gonna have to watch our backs. You're gonna put us out of a job.
No. There's plenty of work for everybody in the verse.
I suppose that's true.
I have no idea. I'm sorry, I lost the plot on this.
So did Lastness.
I don't think she ever had it, honestly. This was...
Just channel her, you're good.
Like, Mom, I'm socializing!
So Lasness continues to go on her explanation of the brainworms and with lots of pew pew pews, explosions, and at one point she takes a salt shaker to show the armada, and also then she like starts doing like voices and stuff, and like so then like the Baron was like, "Rawr, why are you being all like this?" And then the priestess was like, I don't really remember what she said because she was wrong. So I am trying to find out information.
You want information about Sawagan?
No, not really. I'm really kind of more interested in trying to figure out. Wait, am I looking for information about the Sawagan? And she looks down at like where she wrote the stuff that Fritz told her to do. Wait, I can't read my writing. What does it say? I knew I should have typed it. But yeah, I'm looking for information about Sawagans and the Space Ghost and smugglers. Because smuggling's bad. It's really against all codes in the verse.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've heard that the best place for information around here is if you can get into the Mawkeeper's archives. They have the longest memories in the verse that I know of.
Oh, that's true.
Aside from creatures like, I don't know, aboleths or something.
I don't think an aboleth will help me right now.
No, they're usually pretty power hungry from what I've heard. I've never actually encountered one.
Well, you remember that big shark thing that I was telling you about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary. It was a lot like that.
Oh.
So maybe we should go ask the lore keepers. Maybe they'll know a lot of stuff. All right, wait. I'm going to write this down and type it this time.
Right. So, the Amoeboids Arcane Database. Most information in the verse.
Amoeboids Arcane Database. Oh man, I spelled database with a P. Thanks. You guys are a real good help. All right. I wanna book face you guys, but I don't remember my login. So I will see you around definitely, and then we can definitely share more information in the future because I owe you guys a really big one. And she says, "Your next drink's on me. Orange juice or anything."
Appreciate it. I'll just have coffee, but.
Oh, sure. And she gets up to go get them their drinks. And when she returns with them, she gives it to them and then actually makes like real small talk at that point before saying, "Well, I got to get going. I really thank you guys again for all your help. I mean, like, it was really big, and I'm so grateful. I'll see you around."
All right. Good luck.
Okay.
In an ideal universe, Lasness would take 2 steps away, turn, call Fritz immediately on the comm, and say, "You'll never guess where the most useful information is." And Fritz will be in the Mawkeeper's database, which is exactly where I am.
So, meanwhile, in the big fancy library.
Back in the big fancy library. There are just several possibilities in terms of things to track down. I think what Fritz is going to try to do, because Fritz tried one angle of just like ownership records of the Space Ghost, and that got kind of like boggly real quickly. That didn't go much of anywhere
Yeah.
because it's unofficial, a lot of that. So this time, Fritz is going to go after also probably still pretty well secured or hidden, but trying to get a sense of where Galen Prime Water's recent trades and financial doings have been. Not that that'll connect directly to the kinds of stuff that the Space Ghost has been involved in, but it'll show, like if all of a sudden he's doing fabrics or wines or, mining or whatever, that'll be a focus area that might help highlight what he might be into if there's something not underboard, not above board that he's involved in.
Under the table?
And yeah, some boards, tables, crossings,
Okay.
intersections, I don't know.
Okay. So, in the arcane database, your friend, what is their name? Epsilon,
Mm-hmm.
can show you exactly where to look up all of that kind of information. And Epsilon is absolutely thrilled to be an encyclopedic font of knowledge to anyone who will give them the time of day, because Iota just wants them out of their bubble.
Yep. Totally. I'll channel a little bit of Lasness and do the hi, we're friends now. It's, I think, whatever. It's like a bad version of it, but
yeah. But you've already bonded
yeah,
over
the
tech and
creepy
engines
Cole version. Yeah. I'm sorry, you were saying.
So you can even find out where Gillen Primewater lives. He
That would be
has
awesome.
a rather large set of quarters, suite near the docks. And let me scroll up and see what I can find about his actual business. It looks like his main imports are textiles and lumber from down on the planet.
Okay.
He's in charge of shipping them out to other parts of the verse. He is one of the most, actually, he's the most prominent merchant in town. Second to none. The next, his closest competitor is probably the Saltmaw family, but they deal more in foodstuffs.
Okay.
But they do have some trade vessels, as well as the actual like fishing and
anything new or recent in terms of changes for his like what he's gotten involved with in terms of either imports or exports?
a few years ago, he was in very close competition with a man named Aubric Drellian. And then Aubric made some apparently poor life choices and lost a lot of money in a rather risky business venture when one of his ships that he sunk a lot of money into was lost in space.
Is there a history of that ship? I mean, name, location, what it was? Yeah, the one that was lost.
The one that was lost in space was called the Emperor of the Way, as in the Milky Way.
Oh, I thought it was This Is the Way.
Maybe.
No,
maybe.
its ways are difficult sometimes. All right. Fritz will see about downloading like the last known information, sorts of things about the ship, because it's always fun to go after potential shipwrecks.
Oh.
That said, that's going to be a back file kind of thing, but data being what it is, you can kind of file that away for future reference.
Yes. Epsilon is very excited to tell you about that ship.
Oh,
because
yes.
Epsilon specializes in construct cores, and the Emperor was fully automated.
Interesting.
There was only a single crew member.
Interesting. Okay, now this has totally got Fritz now. It's just like find the thing, lost thing, might be broken, might need to be fixed. So there's like a little bit of that thread going on. But yeah, no, Fritz can probably happily spend most of the day talking to Epsilon about this ship, construct cores, the AI construct involved. Who was this one person who was on board? Like everything, just like download, tell me everything.
Okay.
So
the ship's solo crew member was a Vect named Trimaxian.
Okay. And how long ago was the ship lost? And how did they know it was lost and didn't just like leave?
It left, and they were, because it was automated, they had a deep space link to track it. And the last transmission, of course, there's some delay between transmission once you get past the because they were headed to the galactic frontier. So once you get past the outer ring of the Maw network, there's a delay because they don't have the deep space ether radio relay stations. So there was a delay, but the last transmission was about an incoming ion storm that they were trying to avoid. And they suspect that they got hit with the storm and thrown off course. And that was the last time they heard from the ship.
And maps and space being what it is, it has a tendency to shift a little bit. So it's entirely possible that a small change on their navigational part could have meant it was nearly impossible for them to figure out where they were and where they were going.
Yep. And that was probably... It's been several years at this point since anyone has heard anything from the Emperor or Trimaxian.
Well, but Vect, you don't expect them to like die per se. So
it's entirely possible that they could still be alive if the ship is not completely wrecked somewhere.
Yeah. Any records as to what it was carrying?
It was carrying not very much. And if you wanted to, you could actually get in touch with the owner of the ship and find out more details. But from what you and Epsilon can gather, it was mostly just carrying a lot of equipment and funds for purchasing or trading and setting up the franchise out on the frontier.
Okay. It sounds like a lot of the value was in the ship itself too, though. Yeah. I mean, that sounds like the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Fritz will happily dig into, who's the ship owner, find out if there's some way to, have a conversation with the ship owner about, the just find out what the thoughts are, if there was any other information that they had about it. I doubt it, because I mean, the Epsilon being who it is, would know a lot. But
Epsilon will send a message and try to set up a meeting.
okay.
And hopefully we'll hear back from Albrecht Drellian shortly.
Okay.
In the meantime, what is everybody else doing? Cole, Rick Mara, Narita? Trying to train your little robot.
Currently cleaning the ship and chastising poor Ted, but considering going to. So, I already forgot. Is it Empty Night?
The Empty Night is one of the bars on the station.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that Cole and Fritz were, and that you had previously been trying to find some contacts about some research.
Yeah. So, after a good night's rest, thinking on it, she's thinking maybe about going back to look for anyone with information regarding Chiron and any experiences that any of the smugglers may have had recently, or not so recently. But she also likes the idea of going in the morning at this time of day where maybe things aren't as rowdy. But for now, she's working on cleaning up the ship.
A little different crowd.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And if you don't have any luck there were also some of the smugglers' crew that were arrested. So you can check in with Lee and see if she has heard anything about that, and if there has been any investigation, if she is able to talk about it.
Okay.
So,
is Cole back?
That's an excellent question.
So, Cole has, I think Cole probably spent the night at wherever he has a place on the station somewhere. I don't know where, but it's, wherever he was staying. And he, this morning, has been avoiding thinking about his feelings. Basically, avoiding dealing with his feelings. He actually had very significant connection to a person last night, and is kind of weirded out because not completely by himself, because he is like, is in that mode of like, he's been trying to remember that rule is like, do you wait 3 days? Is that how that works? It's before
Which
you call.
reminds me, Cole, if you don't already have inspiration, you should take inspiration because you are dealing with your trouble.
Okay.
You self-compelled.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did. Thank you. But yeah, he basically he's so this morning, he's kind of sort of so he's avoiding calling her back because he thinks it's like, okay, I gotta wait 3 days or something, and
Right.
then it's like, I don't want to.
Protocol.
I don't want to destroy her.
Right.
And which I feel like is what is going to happen if someone gets close to me. So I'm trying to fight that instinct. So it's like, I don't want to think of it. What's that singing voice in the head? It's like, something is happening. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, leave it alone.
Just don't look
Let's
at
not-
it.
Just don't think about it. Just don't think about it. So he's looking. So he's gone back on the station's network and is looking for bounties.
Okay.
He basically is like, nope, got to clear my head here. I got to find something else to do. I got to do something else right now. And so that's because, and he figures, he screwed up horribly with the gathering intel last night, and so he doesn't really want to face the other crew members right now. He doesn't even necessarily sure if he should be thinking of them as crew members, and he's worried he's going to drag them into his bullshit. So he basically. Yeah, he's just like, okay, I gotta clear my head. I'm just gonna find something to go. I gotta hunt something. So he's doing that.
Well, the first thing that comes up is the first thing that always comes up, which is like, Shay Garrison needs your help. They're always looking for mech frame pilots to go to the marches, and you want nothing to do with that.
Immediately go scroll past that.
Swipe left.
Yes. So he's just hunting around. He's looking for something else to do, basically, and he's trying to find other things.
There are always jobs available. Is there anything particular? You're looking more for a bounty hunting type of job in particular?
He's probably going to just like. He's probably going to just pull up one of the first few that he sees. And so it could be anything. It could be like, just, it could be just a thing of like, it could be petty theft or something. It doesn't really matter what it is. Okay. As long as it's, it lets him not think about what happened last night and what is, and what is continuing to happen with like his emotions and relationships.
There's lots of jobs posted at the Wicker Goat. Most of them have to do with guarding mining operations, or there is.
There's also a Wicker Goat?
The Wicker Goat is one of the taverns. It's it bears the dubious honor of being the oldest tavern on the station.
How many goat taverns are there on this station?
Sorry, it's the Clockwork Goat. The Wicker Goat is
okay.
The Wicker Goat is
parallel universe.
Yep.
Okay.
An alternate universe. Sorry, I don't know where I am today.
I was concerned they were going
the Clockwork Goat.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds much safer
run by
because
Lance Keurig.
I worry about I worry about getting stuffed into the Wicker Goat and then them setting it on fire.
No, I don't want that.
That's a Wicker Man. I think you're okay.
It could be anything made of wicker is dangerous these days. Anything. Okay. Yeah. No. So the posting.
Recover stolen goods. You've already done that.
Yeah, that's true.
Something needs to take down the listing. It's been a little busy.
Oh, that's. So yeah, I'm probably if that's where you have to go to find the to get access, then I'll probably go there, and I'm like drinking some coffee like thing.
There are several places that have postings. The usually all of the taverns will have job boards. The security center also has some job listings. Like there has been some news of cultists and a dispute over an asteroid where they want to build a fueling station, and some other people want to mine it for minerals.
I think that it's basically is just looking that sounds like settling a dispute between people, and so that's probably not something he's going to go for. Yeah,
that.
No.
Someone at the Craftspersons Guild Hall is looking to acquire a branch from a tree that was used to hang a murderer.
Oh, okay, that sounds more interesting. I mean, an item recovery. That'll do if there's nothing. You sort of see if there's like how much information there is on it, and then if he'll like look at that, and then he'll be like, okay, who do I have to meet with, et cetera, and sort of like start grabbing that. I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to create a whole side quest thing for myself, so we can gloss over the details if you would prefer to.
Okay. So you collect some information on this tree, which if you're gonna find it, it's probably gonna be down planet side, and you would want to go speak to Jill Kankleston at the Carpenters Guild, Craftspersons Guild. She's a carpenter, and she builds like the fancy wood panel insides of the rich people's quarters up here when they want it to look like they're not in a space station for some reason.
Amazing. Probably some really fancy mantelpieces for fake fireplaces too.
Yep.
Oh no.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'll probably end up going
yeah.
and talking to them.
Okay. Rick Mara, what are you up to today?
Probably just wandering the station aimlessly with his swirl.
Okay.
I'm probably going to the flea market of some sort to buy some food for it.
Okay. What sort of food are you looking to buy for your swirl?
Batteries, I guess.
Batteries. Some arcane batteries. Arcane batteries are easy to come by. They're in everything. They're, I would say they're a dime a dozen, but batteries are kind of expensive, especially if you want the 9 volts, and they only come in packs of like 2.
It's fine. You'll look for rechargeable batteries.
Okay, yeah. You might have noticed that the things that your swirl sucks the energy out of do eventually recharge themselves. He doesn't drain them permanently. It's just when you get a whole bunch of them in one area at a time where things can start to really go wrong. Because
he's going with
faster than you can fix them.
He's going with daily feedings in order to curb his swirl's appetite.
So, yeah, rechargeable batteries is probably a good bet, and you can find those at there is a general store somewhere. It's called Winston's store.
All right, so I guess he will just head there.
Okay.
Now that he actually has some credits now.
Yeah. So as you are making your way to the store, or perhaps back from the store, so you go to the store, and it's run by a halfling, actually. And he greets you as you come in, and he says, "Welcome in. I'm Winston. This is my store, and I sell solid goods at honest prices."
Do prices have a tendency to lie?
No, but some people tend to upcharge for the convenience of getting goods up here.
Oh, well, just looking for some rechargeable batteries.
Sure, no problem. And he will point you to a section along the wall where there's batteries, charging stations, charging pads for data pads and devices, charging ports.
All right. I mean, Rekmar's not going to be too picky, but he will turn to Zed and just ask. So,
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Every time you try to look at him.
17.
Yeah, you see him. He's there.
I mean, really, you couldn't just, chill on the invisibility thing? Anyway, do you have a preference on your vehicle for your arcane? And he's just going to point at all of the batteries.
Yeah, he'll kind of point one out and another and another.
But it's just one.
Then he'll point to the multi-pack that has the most in it.
Out of a little bit of spite, Rekpara is going to pick the 2 steps down on the pack. Sorry, you're getting a 4-pack, not a 20-pack.
So you purchase some batteries. And is there anything else you want to look for while you're here?
No, this is it. You'll just purchase this.
Okay. So on your way out, you see an elf sitting in the greenhouse area near the fountain, just sort of meditating.
Well, I suppose if Rekmar is on his way back to the Space Coast, he will pass through if it's on the way.
Mm-hmm. And you recognize this elf.
Oh, okay.
How many elves do you know?
Fair bit.
Okay. This elf once rescued you when you were out on a quest. Sort of started you down your current path.
Oh. Oh, you're a long way from where we last met.
So are you.
Particular reason why you're here?
Searching, like always.
I haven't seen any trace of it.
Well, I'm just passing through, really. It's almost always a red herring, but I heard of some pirates who may have gotten their hands on something they shouldn't.
Such as?
the fragment.
Do you have any leads?
Well, last thing I turned up was Chiron, but that's a mess that I don't necessarily care to get involved with. At least not on my own.
I just returned from there. Not a terribly hospitable place.
No, that's about what I've heard. I don't know that I will have any luck, but I always have to look. But I'll try to steer clear of Chiron. How have you been?
Well enough, I suppose.
That bad, huh?
Well, never really pictured my life as a drifter.
So why are you drifting?
Was tired of the sun above dogma. Bored of my role as a doctor for the Order of the Sepulchre.
So you're still searching too.
I don't know if I would call what I'm doing searching. It was significantly detoured.
That happens. Well, let me know if you need anything while I'm here.
The rest of the circle assembled or based out of somewhere.
A lot of us are wanderers, sojourners, trying to find the obelisk. You don't really come to space if you are looking to stay in one place.
Suppose not.
You can find some of us on one of the stations near Hearthmond. the halfling world.
I'll make note of that, I suppose.
For those of us who don't spend much time planet side, it can be a good place to study the creatures of the verse.
It's good to know. Are there any other instructions or tasks that you have for me?
No, just don't be a stranger.
You're remarkably lackadaisical in leadership for a archdruid.
If you wanted your entire life mapped out for you, you could have stayed at the Citadel.
I suppose that's fair. Do you want a thwirl?
What do you want to get rid of your thrill?
I don't know. He just seems kind of bored. Maybe you would be better company. What do you think, Sid? Would you rather go with the elf?
He throws a good berry at you.
She makes better good berries than I do.
Are you trying to convince the thwirl to leave?
I don't know. Maybe I want a cat bat or something.
You can only have one?
Oh, I'm not going to start collecting cat familiars.
You did take a big room on the ship.
It's true.
You're now obligated to fill that up with orphan creatures.
Well, no.
Crazy cat bat, Rekmara.
Or maybe I want a cactus cat. I don't know.
Rakamara's cat familiar rescue.
No? Well, I guess I'm stuck with you then. He'll just wander back to the Space Coast.
Okay. All right. So, is there anything else anybody would like to do while I figure out where I am in my notes?
Lasness wants to happily tell everyone about the new friends that she made today.
That's right. Lasness made new friends.
They were so nice.
Tries really, really hard not to give themselves a concussion with face palming.
But I got great info, and she shares the info, but after like 20 minutes of talking about the people.
Yeah. I'm so glad to find out that that's such a useful place to go for information. It was so useful that I spent all morning there.
Wow. Well, did you talk to them too?
Oh, to the folks you did? No.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
No, you're the only one who's talked to them.
Yeah, well, I know that, but like you could have used like Space's instant messenger or something, or maybe there was some like space forum post or something that you found that out from. But I tried.
Yeah, no, you did, and you're a great contact for them now, and you've made friends, and that's what's important, right?
I guess, but I like you guys better.
Oh, that's good. Who actually is on the ship at this point for the conversation? Is it just Lasness and Mem and Fritz? Well, I've been digging around a little bit. Yeah, I was going to say, and Fritz can let the other two who are there know about links to another lost ship.
Oh.
We've Epsilon and I were digging up some details on this potential lost ship out there. So depending on what other things other people might have going on, I might be curious in going to see what I might be able to check out in that part of space. I've not been that direction before, but obviously if we find anything closer here, if there's something else going on that we need to know about nearby, I don't want to take off on you guys or dump you guys here while I randomly borrow the ship to go out there.
Rita's just like, well, I don't mind taking a trip out to the unknown. Haven't been out there either.
That does make it the unknown, right?
That's kind of the definition of unknown, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we hear anything else back from Cole, and I think Rekmara was stretching his legs, so we'll give them a little time to get back. Fritz is going to go back and excuse me. Sorry.
Don't die.
Not to not choke on screen, right? Fritz will go back and just check in with Sharon and see if there are any other needs or requirements. Anything else I might need to get on?
Sharon is comfortable and happy to be out of Sahuagin captivity.
There you go. We'll play on that one for as long as possible before we start having to worry about other ways to keep him around. So.
All right. So I think while we are waiting for everybody to reconvene with their various intel, now might probably be a good place to take our break.
Ah.
Sounds good.
That sounds like an idea.
Yeah.
We just check a thing real quick so that I can make sure that I put the right thing into the right place whilst I'm doing that. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Cool. There we go. I totally remembered to put the right interview in this time. Yes, of course I did. I didn't just do it a moment ago.
Of course not.
Of course not. Of course not. We will be back in just a few minutes, and in the meantime, there's an interview in there that I can't imagine what it is. I did it days ago. I set this up like a person who has actual forethought, and we'll see you shortly. Welcome to the break. I have Trooper SJP with me today to chat about all manner of things. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am still breathing, which I think is the important thing to remember to do. On a daily basis, one hopes.
And in multiple times in a row.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting that part. But, I'll get it. I'll get it sooner or later. But no, something that we wanted to talk about a little bit today is we both have theater backgrounds, as it turns out. And I know you basically, we also both have writing backgrounds to a certain extent. And I actually wanted to find out or not so much find out, but see kind of what your thoughts were on sort of intersections of RPGs with these various entertainment media, and just sort of where you might happen to see crossovers, and how the one might inform the other.
So I have a super spicy take, though.
Oh, yes?
I do have a very spicy take. And my spicy take is this. From the very beginning, you would always have people, like, you'd see, like, what is an RPG, right? They would always ask, like, what is Dungeons and Dragons? What is it? And they'd always say, oh, it's improvisational radio theater, right? They'd always somehow try to tell you what an RPG is by referencing film, books, these other media. And the thing is, it's not. And I don't mean this as and I mean this in the way, I've thought a lot about adaptations in different media. It's one of the things I do for a living. And I know that people will often say, oh, wouldn't it be great if we could take that big sprawling 80-hour RPG video game and make it a film? And I think, I don't know. A video game is really different from a film. It's 80 hours of content that you as a player have active participation in. Like there are these, like, it's not the same medium. And there are things that video games, and everyone's like, oh, there are no good video game movies, as if video games are somehow inferior in art form to film. But video games can do things that film can't. And when I think about RPGs, I think about the ways in which RPGs are a really special medium. They're not exactly books, because books can do all sorts of things that RPGs can't, and vice versa. They're not film. They're not exactly theater. It's like, there's that trend of getting lots of improv actors to do RPGs.
Yeah.
It's like, but improv and RPGs are not actually the same. Use improvisatory skills, but the function of an improv show is totally different than an RPG game where the players are the audience as well. It's a complicated thing. And I have thought long about what are the models we use when we are imagining how to put together an RPG. And are those models useful to us? And how can we really think about what it is that RPGs themselves do? And I was thinking about, for example, and this is like a weird thing, but in terms of writing and media and theater, I think for an ongoing RPG campaign, here's my people should maybe look less to film, which often has hero protagonist that is unitary with maybe some sidekicks, and that is particularly directed, like maybe that for like a one shot. And look a little bit more to daytime soap operas, actually, because daytime soap operas are about sort of long weaving stories, right? Where things sort of come through and come in and out in different kinds of ways. They're character focused, they're large ensembles. And there's a way in which the long scale soap opera certainly has plots and excitement and all that, but it is a bit more sympathetic to the kind of experience an RPG does as a story.
Yes.
So and I feel like because we don't necessarily respect soap operas as a media, as opposed to like our golden age of television where you want it to, I don't know. But there's a lot there that would be so interesting to think about in terms of thinking about RPGs.
I'm just going to say, I think you've hit on the crux of why I think streaming your RPG campaign works as even an entertainment thing. It's because of the soap opera factor. You get attached to certain characters. It's an ensemble thing. And you have you have characters that can come and go, even because as different players have to drop out, or as their characters die and they take on new characters. It is a lot more like a soap opera. I definitely agree on that.
And the pacing is different, and so this is a thing I was thinking about in terms of, and this is fascinating thinking about streaming. People will say, well, and this is, I think, perhaps not the most productive. People say, oh, well, we're streaming it. It has to be like a TV show. And by that, I think they mean, I don't know, Breaking Bad. They want it to be really intense, very tight, no waste. I was like, well, first off, that's actually not how RPGs work. RPGs don't really do that. And it's not scripted. So you can't do that. And I think that also, it's 4 hours. Like your RPG show is anywhere between 2 to 4 hours of a stream, right? I mean, there's some that are 2, there's some that are up to 4, but the streams are long. So how do you sustain viewer interest over 4 hours, potentially 4 hours, let's say 3 as an average, when a TV show is a half hour to an hour? Well, you don't do it by being intense the entire time like you are intense in a film. There's a moment where sort of sitting back and just sitting around the fire, that kind of what some people will call downtime, becomes, which is so important to an RPG that the players really enjoy, becomes really important for the RPG stream to sort of manage the pacing of the intensity, because you can't, as an audience member, be in full intense mode the entire time. There's no way that's healthy or you can sustain it, right? So I think that understanding that the rhythm and the pacing of an RPG is just really different from all of these other media.
Yeah.
Allows you to embrace the things that RPGs do that no one else does. And that is the excitement for me, like to think, not how can I make my RPG like a movie, but how can I make my RPG super RPG like? How can I really bring out all those things that make RPGs really special?
Yeah, I will say, I think to a certain extent, you can, the way you do things in an RPG or it can be inspired by movies and TV shows. And you know, I know that we've all done this thing where it's like the camera pans in, you know, that kind of thing, or the perspective shifts. And I think that that's a thing where it's and I've seen some games where you try to emulate a thing, but it does become entirely a different thing.
And that's cool, right? Like I think that's really neat.
Absolutely.
Because you know what's neat though, I was thinking about, and I was also like random as a theater person, like why is it film and not theater? Why is it not When the Curtain Rises? Like what's up with that? But all right, that's cool. We'll think about it.
And some things that if you want to, and again, it's not quite, but I think it's closer to theater than it is to something like film or TV, because you're right there.
Yeah, and I actually also think that it's closer to theater than film or TV on a meta level, and that's when we're thinking about for this moment, because there's been a lot of scandal and discussion in the world, and I think that when we're thinking about safety tools, it's important to remember that this is a lot more like theater than it is film or television. In film or television, if something is going badly, you can just stop, yell, cut, and nobody feels badly about that. But theater actors are trained from the time they're very young that the show must go on, that you just push through whatever is happening on stage. I mean, like I cut my hand in the first scene of a play I was in and bled for the entire 2-hour show because I had no time to fix my hand, and I didn't just I don't think that's healthy. But the point is that there's a particular kind of way in which people who are doing a live show often feel like they have to just pressure through, and streamed RPGs are live shows, and so we really have to think about safety tools. How can we help deal with bleed? How can we help deal with making sure that the people who are players in a stream show feel safe and feel like they can bring up concerns on a stream show with an audience without that being a problem for them? And I think that we have to recognize that we are similar to theater in that way, that we are doing live shows, and that we do need to have a special kind of care for our players and GM in that environment.
Absolutely, it's really a case of where it's. I've had many a fractured bone and a bruised limb that will very much agree with that same experience, as it were. Not agree with the experience, but you know what I mean. Will be able to testify that such is definitely the case. And that, I think that in many ways, the RPGs can be made to be better because you actually are trying to care about the people you are playing a game with. It is that kind of activity that you're trying to in a sense to embrace the people you are with. That's instead of just use them as tools.
Right, because the GM is not a director. Just again, this is why I think we have to be really careful not to sort of mix our metaphors over much.
Exactly.
We can take inspiration, but a film has a director who's like, "This is my vision." RPGs don't have directors. They have referees, game moderators, right? But they don't have directors. And so remembering that we're all in this together, that we are playing a game, we should be having fun. And fun can be really intense, but this should be fun, and that we're all in it together is one of those things where how can we embrace the specialness, right? Sort of be inspired by, and also maybe we could, if we want to be inspired by other media, be inspired by a lot more other media, not just film or television, but maybe be inspired. Like, what would an RPG look like if it were inspired by poetry? What would an RPG look like if it were inspired by, I don't know, like, what about like dance? Like, what would an RPG look like if you're like, oh, I've been thinking about how people put together dance routines and choreography, and how might I use that kind of physical thing to inspire this game in some way? I don't know. Like let's broaden where we get our influences to make the game it's especially its own thing, and like really rich and cool. Like, that's exciting.
Absolutely. There is so much that can be done, and so much that is, as of yet, either untapped or little known. And I'm just very excited to see where just the whole idea of gamery goes in the future. Yeah. Absolutely.
Me too.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us about this. I really appreciate it. If folks want to find you online, where should they go?
Ooh, you can find me at Trooper SJP on Twitch, and you can find me at Academic Foxhole on Twitter. I don't know why Twitch is here and Twitter's over there, but it is.
It is, in a spiritual sense, in those directions and something.
I think it's because I feel like here's where like links are, and I was like, like, well, we're in Twitch right now, so like this is the website we're in, but then you'd have to go that way.
Yes, that's
I don't
right.
know why you're.
We're inside the Twitch machine, and that's how we climb to the different parts. That's where the ladder to the link is. That's how we get there. Absolutely.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Take care, folks, and we will see you later. Hello. We have returned. We, to the relative safety of Saltmaw Station. The break was actually the most dangerous thing that's been happening tonight, and I cannot explain why, for I shall go mad if I do.
So, Cole is attempting to contact the
Yes. Jill
Craft
Kangleston? I don't know if I wrote this down right.
It's not my fault I did not name her.
Oh, okay.
But apparently her ancestors were from Kangalstown.
Kanglstown. What is a kangle?
Ankle? You know, where your
Kangle?
calves go into your ankles?
Okay, now I thought it was the people who make these flat caps. I wasn't
No,
sure.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Like the one Anino has.
Like kangle.
Perhaps. That seems like a better explanation.
It's
But
possible.
just based on the spelling, it's a rather unfortunate name.
Oh, okay. Is it actually Cankl?
It's spelled with two K's, but
Oh, okay.
it's a K instead of a C, but Kankleston.
That is an unfortunate name, but we can't choose these things in life.
No.
These things just
Also,
sort of happen
gnomes
to
and
us.
their names, sometimes I think they give us strange names just to have us on.
I feel this is likely the case. Oh, they'll never get this reference. Yes, they will. I've seen that before. So it's where is it? There's a I wasn't sure of the. I know that it's a brand. Well, okay, I'll go talk to her about it, and then there will be more information. I will do that.
Okay. So you go to the guild hall, and in the carpenters area where Jill has set up shop, it's the entire chamber is a marvel of workmanship, made without a single nail.
Wait, out of wood?
Out of wood, inside the station. So there's likely but you go into the area of the station that houses the guild hall, and inside it's paneled with wood and furnished with wood.
It's very ostentatious. That's interesting.
It is very ostentatious. And you can kind of glean just by looking at the gnome who runs the place that she is quite proud of her work. If a person could be looking down her nose at you from such a height, she is. Good day, sir.
Morning. You are you Jill Kankleston?
Indeed.
Just looking back at his thing, he's like, yeah, I saw your posting for, you're looking for a piece of a tree.
Yeah, I'm looking for several pieces of several trees. Which notice in particular?
The one that I saw had to do with a tree that had hung someone, or from which someone had been hanged.
Yes. I need a branch of a tree used to hang a murderer.
I assume this is for some kind of arcane thing.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I am a connoisseur of rare woods.
All right. Do you have some idea of a particular tree that this was done to that you're looking for, or is this just go out and find a hanging tree somewhere?
The specific trees that I am looking for are usually found in the Hool Marshes, or the Drowned Forest, or in the Dreadwood.
The something marshes. What did you say?
The Hool Marshes, not the Fool Marshes. Those are on Chiron.
Okay. The Hool Marshes.
With a H.
With a H. The Drowned Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And the what other wood?
The Dreadwood.
The Dreadwood. Okay, that sounds safe.
Can't imagine where it gets its name.
Like,
bring back any stories. I'd love to hear them.
I see. And I'm just sort of looking through the... Actually, I don't know if I have a... Do we have hand devices? I can't remember if that's part of our comms or not.
A hand device, a wrist device.
Yeah.
I'm sure your...
Oh, that's right. I've got.
Pack usually comes with a data pad or in comms. Or
yeah, it's basically it's. That's right. It's like holographic because it's like on the. It comes out of a comm unit. Okay. So yes. I'm like looking over and I'm like, I'm quickly doing the Google on the on these locations as this is happening, and I'm going to say, so. Are these particularly hazardous areas?
Well. Most areas have hazards of some kind. When you're outside of the city, then again, cities have their own types of hazards.
Well, ain't that true? And basically, looking to, and I'm not going to read each article real quick. I'm just going to look to see if like are those all on the planet below, or are they?
Yes,
okay.
Those are all locations on Lexhay.
Okay.
Outside of the spaceport city, which is called Fort Brackish.
Okay. Have I heard about Fort Brackish? Do I know anything about it?
Yes, you've probably heard quite a bit about Fort Brackish, considering that is a major military base in that area for the Lexhay garrison.
Oh, great! That'll be fun. Well,
you don't have. Well, I mean, you have to pass through Fort Brackish if you're. I suppose you could land elsewhere.
Sort of shrugs and like, I mean, yeah, it's right now it's about 50-50. I know them, but that's probably actually now might be a good time. All right, so. And he starts thinking for a second. He's like, gonna have to actually go down. Okay, okay. All right. So shall we discuss? So is there any other information about this? The things that you're looking for specifically for this, or shall we go straight to discussing rates?
What are your usual rates? I'm sure
Well,
it won't be an issue.
well, as it happens, and we just had a situation with
The
going on
Chiron
with Chiron.
business.
And as it happens, and it looks like we're probably going to be free for a little bit. So right now, this is and he's gonna. He thinks for a moment. He's first thing he's thinking is he's going to send just his own personal rate, and then he realizes that he's going to have to send the group rate because he has to get down there. And unless he hires a taxi or something, he's going to have to. He feels this tinge of almost like, it's not quite guilt. It's perhaps something close to it. It's like, no, I should probably tell them about it. And so, yeah. He's going to very quickly come up with this thing where it's like he's sending a personal rate and a team rate depending on what is needed for the job.
See. Well, when you have secured your party, get back to me.
All right. Yeah, we can. I can give you. Yeah, these are just for the estimate. But yeah, I can talk to them and then see kind of what the final. What it's gonna get you something that's a little bit closer after that. After I chat with them and sort of see how it goes.
Of course.
All right. Good. Was there anything else that you wanted to make sure that we know about this kind of going in?
Well, let's see. That depends what area you'd like to know about.
Okay. So have you been to any of these three? The Whole Marshes or the Drowned Forest or the Dreadwood?
A bit. Once upon a time.
So, do you have a second? Can you talk a little bit about each?
Certainly. Bear with me as I scroll to the correct.
Oh no, it's just fine. I got to do the same thing.
I have to look in the appendices.
Appendices.
So whatever those things.
Appendices.
I know there's a section about these places. It's all in the back of the book. Is there anything anybody else wants to do in the meantime?
I mean, if you prefer, I can just get back to you with more questions if you'd rather I do that.
I will, I will have to, let's see. All right. So the Drowned Forest and the Hula Marsh are right next to each other. The Hula Marsh, your typical swamp hazards. The Drowned Forest is also quite a marshy area. There tend to be a lot of blights and that sort of thing. Stinging insects in the swamp. various and sundry wildlife. She says, of course, it's been some time since I've actually been there. Who knows how industry may have affected the ecosystem.
Yeah, that's fair.
As for the Dreadwood, well, when I was just a little tiny gnome, they used to tell ghost stories about the Dreadwood, but surely a strapping young adventurer like yourself has no concern about such things.
Well, as long as I didn't know him personally, sure. Yeah. All right.
I heard the station had a few ghost stories of its own, and
yeah, you hear things from time to time. It's there was actually also there weren't ghosts. It wasn't ghosts per se, but there were some undead down in a spot. And he just sort of stops for a second and he's looking around. About roughly how old does this gnome look?
it's hard to say. Gnomes can live a long time.
True. Okay. So he just sort of is looking around. He's like, do you ever do like fireplace facades?
Perhaps.
We were down in the part of the station. There were a bunch of fireplace facades down there. That they had a bunch of fake fireplaces for some reason.
Yes, old Ulrich. Whatever became of him?
Was that the name of the alchemist?
Yes.
Huh. Well, I can tell you, we didn't actually run into him
No,
at any
we
point.
did not.
No, he didn't. Anything.
You ran
Well,
into another wizard.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that whatever became of him, his old digs ended up being a squatting place for smugglers.
Oh, so I suppose that means he isn't using any of those fireplace facades. I wonder what I could make with that reclaimed wood.
Cole stops for a second. He's like, is that wood valuable?
It depends on what condition it's in.
I mean, they looked pretty much, damn near functional last time we were down there. They a lot of the paneling had a bunch of spiders had gotten in though for near a bunch of them. So you kind of got to watch out for that.
Not too much fire or water damage from the ensuing spider removal.
No carpenter ants or termites up here, I suppose. It might be usable. There's quite a market for repurposed and upcycled items. But
yeah, I mean that's
a job for another day.
Yeah, I mean that's they're I mean he had several down there, so I mean that's
oh yes.
I mean and he's certainly not using them. But yeah, it was kind of odd just sort of going into like every room and seeing a fireplace, and it was just like
Was it?
I mean even planet side, you don't see that many fireplaces in a regular house. It's very strange.
This is true.
But, I think there were a few, just so you'll know, there were a few kind of like They are not exactly traps. Well, they're sort of traps. They sort of magically left things. I don't know if they've decayed or not, but it's mostly just a voice that yells out and stuff. It's probably worn off by now, but...
I seem quite familiar with these the quarters. I don't suppose you'd be interested in another job.
Well, I mean, after we look into what we've got going on right now, well, it depends on if we have time, but yeah, I mean, if we well, it depends. How much carpentry would be involved?
Oh, you wouldn't have to do the carpentry.
I mean, I can always maybe take a look at that if we end up having more time. It just depends on what everybody's got going on right now, but we'll we can definitely look into that.
All right, well,
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and I'll sort of like get her contact information, and then I will be like, yeah,
swipe it to your device.
Okay, yeah, I'll be in touch.
You do that.
And he just sort of wanders out, like shaking his head. He's just sort of like, this is going to be working with other people on things like this is going to take some getting used to, figuring out how that whole thing works. It's just something I tend not to think about until now. And he's finally going to start heading back toward the Space Ghost.
All right. So, Cole makes it back to the ship finally. It's been half a day. I imagine Rekamara has made his way back as well. Everybody has gathered. There's an awkward silence as Cole tries to avoid talking to anyone.
for a few minutes, yeah.
Yes.
Kind of just coming in, setting things down, rearranging, is like looking out. Well, has somebody been drawing on the walls or something? There's somebody been drawing spiders on the walls?
You can see some of them are like smudged as if they've been partially wiped off.
At that very moment, Ted scurries by and looks at you and then runs away.
That explains it. Hey, where is everybody?
Fritz will pop out from behind some panel in the wall somewhere. Fritz will have this unnerving habit of popping out of a shaft or corner of the ship at odd places when least expected.
Just be like, oh crap, it's you.
Yeah. That's okay. You just haven't managed to hit me yet, so.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, keep practicing, dude. So anyway, sort of good news-ish. The ownership of the Space Ghost is convoluted enough that as long as we're sitting here and nobody else is, it's ours.
What, seriously?
Yeah, it's like been passed around and handed around so many times that it's
probably
I won't say
changed hands in a card game at some point.
Yeah, it's very much non-titled, if you will. Everybody knows it. Nobody cares about the specifics on it. As long as we don't run into anybody, like cause physical damage by running the ship into somebody, then I think we're pretty much free and clear. There are a couple of longer-term prior relationships, but not having to do with the ownership of the Space Ghost so much as potential other ships or cargo that might belong to the same like top level owners of a whole bunch of stuff. including a ship that's been lost for a couple of years that might be of interest. Very arcanely mechanically interesting ship. Should we decide to look for it at some point, but
Oh, I see.
curious to see what other people might have been up to.
It's weird. I've never actually owned a piece of a ship before. That's weird. It's interesting. Do you have any experience with salvage? How this works? Like when you do this kind of thing?
It works a little differently out here than it does where I come from. But most of the time, if you negotiate with the person who initially had claim ownership, there are salvage fees and rights. It's not completely, finders keepers. If you are contracted by someone to go out and grab something, then they own it, but you get a nice chunk of the pie. That said, you have to find and recover whatever it is that you're looking for, which is a little bit of the challenge on this one, but get good information from Epsilon and the information in the mod databanks.
Oh, good.
That and Lasnus
Yeah.
made friends today.
They were so nice.
Really? Are there?
Yeah.
Is there a scout recruitment office or something on the station I didn't know about?
Maybe.
Oh, hey. All right.
I don't know. I haven't looked yet, but it might be a thing. Who knows? I mean, the Space Scouts is a great service, and their spookies are delicious.
Not spooky
What's
season, though.
Never mind.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I'm not going to say that one again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, you're, yeah, okay. I mean, no, that's good. Yeah, how do you folks feel about the possibility of a trip planet side?
Oh, we can see a real sunrise?
Yeah, it's, well, relative to however much pollution is going on down there right now, but yeah.
Well, it's close.
There's probably not any brainworms either.
Not when I was last down there, no. There's, I was talking to a potential client this morning, and sort of realized, well, we need to kind of get down there. So it's, if there's a possible job, basically, if you're interested.
You need a lift.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I realized that it's. I mean, if you want to, it's.
It's okay to say yes.
We kind of been effective doing stuff, and so if you like, if you I mean, I'm not going to just sit here and say please drop me off or anything like that. I mean, if there's something you'd be interested in, kind of going in on this, it's for a sort of an area that might be actually kind of hazardous. So this actually could be. She kind of hinted that it was probably more likely a group job anyway. So I mean, it's, if you folks are interested, then there's a possibility for basically a kind of a job going out and collecting something.
You had me back at brainworms.
I thought it was no brainworms.
True, we didn't want any, but, well, fate brought us together for a reason, and I'm really glad that it did, so I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, yeah, basically, I'll send you the details here, but yeah, they're looking for a. It's someone who works at the Carpenters Guild, and they're looking for a particular kind of tree.
Craftspeople.
Hmm?
The craftspeople.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I know exactly who you're talking about. She wants something?
Yeah, she's looking for a
Always some sort of weird materials she's after. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently she might be the one who built all those fireplaces we found down there. But and strangely enough, there might be a secondary job in going and getting those if there's any interest in that. But she's looking for the branch of a tree that was used to hang someone, and
Wow.
she gave 3 potential sites
Pleasant.
as possibilities. And I'll send the information on the sites: the Hullmarsh,
Knowing
the
how-
Drowned Forest, and the Dreadwood.
Yeah. Knowing how esoteric the materials are that she can work with, yeah, you'll probably want backup for this.
Yeah, I was figuring there are a lot of local terrain hazards around there. It's been a while since I've been down. I've never actually been into any of these 3 sites. I've been to Fort Brackish, which
Sounds like a great place.
it's where the garrison goes, so it's not like it's not that great. But when I was
my interstellar translator made an error there. Brackish is not a good thing, is it?
not even in and of itself. No, not as such. No, I mean, but that's just it's part of the garrison. They have folks down there. Had to work with them on occasion. But yeah, it's in sort of a couple of the sites are not far from the fort. So there's the possibility if we want to go down there, and I didn't give like a final price or anything because I'm to be honest, I'm not used to giving group rates, so it's for giving team rates. So I wanted to talk to everyone about it first before saying yes or no or anything like that.
Well, speaking for myself, I'd be happy to give you a ride, and if I could be, helpful as a backup down there, I'm fine. I'm not so good planet side as I am in space, but whatever I can do, I can get you there.
I mean, like it's a group job, so if you folks don't want to do it, then I'm probably not gonna go down, wandering into the forest to get my neck snapped by something leaping out of a tree or anything like that. I kind of prefer city gigs when I can get them. This isn't exactly like hunting down a criminal. It's more hunting down a thing where a criminal, that helped to execute a criminal.
Environmental hazards.
Yeah, those.
Narita kind of walks up,
Had my fill of
wiping
those
spiders
lately.
as she goes.
Does she have a magic eraser or something?
She's got some cleaning supplies, just scrubbing the wall, with just also some brute strength, so maybe some dents.
I don't know. These are pretty hefty bulkheads. You're probably fine.
And she kind of walks up. She's like, "Got something on my comm device. Are we going somewhere?"
Yeah, you want to go collect a branch where they hung people?
Yeah, sure. I guess that's fine.
Go clean spiders.
Are we a space gang now?
I was thinking more space posse.
I like that. Wanders off scrubbing spiders.
What is the group term for a group of ghosts?
Gaggle.
A gaggle of
Gaggle.
ghosts? Somehow I think not. Although in space, maybe it's a spaggle.
Well, it's time to ask the internet what the group of ghosts called. A seance? That's not right.
That's dumb.
I don't like that.
believe it's Congress.
Congress of Ghosts.
Will we ever get anything done?
An oboe of
No.
ghosts.
That sounds accurate then.
Well, since ghosts are sort of stuck reliving whatever their unfinished business is, it's probably about right.
Yeah, Congress might work, yeah.
I suppose so.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
I personally like a gaggle of ghosts. I'm just going to use that in my head.
Yeah, there might
It's
be
pleasing.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
might be
Depends
ghosts
on
in the
the
Dreadwood.
ghost.
I don't know.
Yep.
Ghosts in the dead.
Apparently, there are a bunch of insects in the drowned forest.
Great.
A bunch of swamp hazards in the little marsh. Lots of fun stuff. More wetlands.
I like wetlands.
Handy
Oh.
that.
Is it because you're in a suit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got it.
All right. Well, we're mostly in agreement. We are missing.
Is Rekmara back?
He's been standing still in the room the entire time.
Yeah. I believe it.
You turn around and you just ask him, "How long have you been standing there?"
Narita cleaned a spider next to you. Didn't notice. Kept going.
Yep. Down for some planet-side shenanigans?
The shenanigan.
It's a shenanigan.
You can spoogle it and find out.
Yeah. I think it's like a tenth of a furlong. I'm not sure.
Well, I suppose I don't have anything else better to do.
Yep.
You get to visit wood. I mean, you get to visit forests on a planet. I don't know. You like doing that kind of thing?
Do I look like someone who appreciates the environment?
I was kind of feeling yes, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to
kinda.
judge for you.
I was gonna answer that, but then I changed my mind. I figured it might be sarcastic.
Is that a no?
He just remained silent, as if he was invisible.
It's trying to be invisible.
That's not how invisibility works. Slowly eat the chip.
Yeah.
It worked the first time, I guess. Right?
You'll just keep trying, right? Actually, the thrall's giving him lessons.
It'd just be funny if you saw the throw, but you didn't see Rekmara.
Oh
Oh no, it's inverted.
Slowly showing you
Somebody
his
looking
ways.
at the thwirl.
No. What's said?
So then we're in agreement. We're going planet side.
Sure.
Sounds like a plan. Let me get a nav route and make sure that we're good for planet-side landing. We don't need anything else re-upped, fueled, and everything else like that. But we should be in good shape.
All right.
We're headed straight for Fort Brackish, right?
Well, I mean that's it's where they usually it's where you're supposed to check in for.
Yeah, that's the usual spot, rather than like sinking into a swamp somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, entertaining though that might be.
Not again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we can get things powered up and going.
All right. So you begin your pre-flight check. I imagine when Rick Mara asked what's a shenanigan, and somebody said you can spoogle it. Somebody's datapad popped up with an article that had an advertisement for a flavor of a carbonated beverage known as Tropicrash Shenanigans.
Great.
Oh yeah.
So now we're going to see ads on everything that we look up.
So also, and obviously we don't have to roleplay this out, but once we figure out kind of what our pricing, our pricing is, then we go ahead and recontact recontact Miss Kankleston.
Okay.
And give the price and all that.
Okay.
Make sure we're actually like hired to do this before we go flouncing off to.
Money is no object. She just wants that rare wood.
I mean, that's understandable. That's yeah. A lot of folks go through that. No, anyway, sorry.
So, you begin your pre-flight check. You decouple from your berth, and you make your way down to the planet Lexay, to Fort Brackish, the busy spaceport. And that's where we're going to close our episode. We will pick up next time for some Tropicrash shenanigans. Hopefully you won't actually crash.
Yay!
Now that we've said it, we will.
Don't!
If we have to roll for it, we're crashing.
You've
Isn't
conjured it into
Lastness the
existence.
pilot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
He has some skills in that. Some.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. We're fine.
Two things.
No traps.
No traps. Oh my god. So once again, I would like to apologize for if I have derailed the direction of anything with this sudden game.
I think you've given us direction, actually.
Def.
Right. Cool. It's just it keeps I say cool and it keeps saying Google. I don't understand.
And then when you say Google, your phone lights up.
Yeah, that happens frequently. That's happened a lot over the last few days that I've been streaming. Google is trying to be so very helpful. But very cool. All right. Well, then I guess we're going to go ahead and do our outros. And once again, thank you so much for this delightful, wonderful game, where we get to be as silly as we desire. So we shall once again start with Alyssa.
Hi everybody, my name is Alyssa at Origami Shuriken on Twitter. You can find me here every Sunday for more of this, whatever this is. And coming up in about 2 weeks, you can find me on Monday afternoons on Encounter Roleplays, new Green Ronin Song of Ice and Fire RPG, The Wall, where we'll be getting into some shenanigans up north. We're having our session 0 a week from tomorrow. So stay tuned for more about that. As far as today's session, that break was wild. But it feels like everybody needed a little catharsis, so maybe that was a kind of a good thing. And I just quite enjoy letting the little creatures get up to shenanigans and having everybody clean up after them.
It was great.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, and we'll head over to Mem.
Hello, I'm Mem. You can find me mostly here on Sunday afternoons / evenings / your time zone, and a little bit on Twitch. Wait, Twitch? No, this is Twitch. Oh my god. A little bit on Twitter, and occasionally on my own Twitch. Phew. I would like to apologize for the obscene amount of laughter. I'm gonna be honest. The thing that got me most was that spelling of database with all the P's. I don't know why.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't make any sense, but for some reason, I can't stop. Whenever I think about it, it's making me laugh so much. Otherwise, yeah, the break was a lot as well. There were a lot of.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know what's happening.
No.
There are a lot of things happening today, and I'm like, stop laughing. Stop laughing. Stop having fun.
We made it through.
We did. Always searching for rare wood. That almost got me at the end, but I held it together.
You're welcome.
I'm so strong. I'm a child. Next week, I'm an adult. Next week.
I completely believe you. Yes. All right. Sometimes, it just, things happen. You need rare wood to build proper intersections. Let's go on to May.
Hi everybody, I'm May. I may have been a bit of a problem at the break. You can follow me on Twitter. This is pretty much the only place you can find me. My Twitter handle is Madeline. I don't say too much on there, but sometimes I do. I have fun with this group. I think this group is fantastic. They are fun, creative, amazing people, and I hope you guys laughed watching us and maybe, kind of just had a lot of fun in the last couple of hours, because we did, and I hope you felt it too. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
That was very kind. That was awesome. That was very cool. I do want to say I think my favorite moment throughout, and I know we haven't really been mentioning this so much because we were so bowled over by the break that we had to flee to the relative safety of this stream in order to escape from it. But I think my favorite moment was at the beginning with Lasness having that conversation. It's so good. So good. And we shall now head over to Cazimi.
I'm Cazimi. I've remembered who I am. You can find me here on Sundays, and I don't exist anywhere else, which is funny. I should have known who I was then, showing up on Sunday, and I still didn't get it right. And I think my favorite moment was actually what kicked us off at the very beginning when Anino could not remember who he was either. And that just set the tone for everything tonight, straight down the line. So it's like all him.
Who are we, truly? It's hard to say, really, from a philosophical standpoint. It's so difficult. So difficult to know. And now we shall head over to Anino.
Hi, folks. My name is Anino, and you can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. Coming up, what do I have coming up? I think tomorrow I have a stream on Wandering DM for the conclusion, maybe, of that short campaign that name escapes right now.
Life on the Ruins.
That's it. Life Around the Ruins. Where my mech gorilla has a run-in with a really, really creepy cult. led by Virginia Woolf. I don't get it either, but and then on Thursday, I think we're going to be back over here for the Sprawl. I remembered that campaign this time, and then again on Friday. This Friday is actually the season 1 finale of Cyberpunk Red. So tune in for that one Friday at 8 p.m. And then, back again next Saturday for more Invisible Sun, where I make really bad deals with spiritual beings that are much more powerful than I am.
So many. Were there any final thoughts about this session you wanted to go into, or are we good?
I have no idea what we're doing.
Me neither, really. But it's fun, though. Awesome.
I mean, my character is sort of just along for the ride.
Hopefully you get to see some beasts for your wild shape.
That's true. I was looking forward to
Although
that.
I still kind of want to see Rek'Mara turn into a giant space shark. He hasn't wanted to try that one though. So
I am very limited in wild shape.
Do we have to find him the shark first?
space minnow. Well, there was one on the station, but maybe space minnow.
Yeah.
There is a limit. I'm pretty sure a shark is a combat rating of much higher than what I can actually do.
Well,
You
for
could
now.
sing the song.
No.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, before we end up transitioning into whatever horrifying place that would take us, I just wanted to once again thank.
Okay.
I just once again I want to thank Jade Nebula for the wonderful art that we have of our characters. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some fiction and games I've been working on, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. On Monday night, tomorrow night, I'm going to be over on Salty Sweet Games playing D&D 5e. This is a strange game, apparently, that folks play from time to time. Little indie game.
Little indie game.
Yeah. And the title of this one is Strange Invasion, Assault on the Barrier Peaks. We're doing the Barrier Peaks, and I'm playing an angry dirt wizard. On Tuesday... we're actually not having a Las Vegas this Tuesday. We're currently on hiatus between acts on that, but we'll be coming back with that soon. Tuesday night will be the premiere of May's short campaign, which will be Call of Cthulhu, which we're going to be doing our world builder type stuff. Oh, it's basically like I do with all the other short campaigns, monthly campaigns on this channel. We're going to be doing our world building stuff in the first session and then playing out an arc in the last three. So that's what we're going to be doing Tuesday night. On Thursday night, we still have The Sprawl, as previously mentioned, run by guest GM Brian, that is powered by the Apocalypse and Cyberpunk. It is glorious. On Friday, I am going to be, at some point during the day, over on playing a one-shot on Encounter Roleplay, of the spy game. Where I am we get to we get to play spy characters. It's glorious. So I've never played it before. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be playing a character I've played several times before potentially, but we'll see how that goes. That's like the only sort of genre of RPG that I like bring the same character from thing to thing is with the spy genre. I have no idea why I do this, but that's everything else I try to change it up. But for some reason that one, just the one character, but or one's close to it. It's sort of around the same thing. But anyway, you can tune into that to find out what that is. On Saturday nights, of course, as previously mentioned, we have Invisible Sun, The Edge of Paradox. We're still on a train, but. Perhaps soon we will escape the train. We shall see. On Sundays, no, that's the. It is,
We're having way too much fun on the train.
This is true. Yeah. These are the rails upon which we shall find ourselves for the rest of this campaign. On Sundays, we have one-shots. I actually am in the process of rescheduling some stuff, so I'm not 100% sure what we're doing as the one-shot this coming Sunday afternoon, but stay tuned and we'll figure that out. And of course, that evening, Sunday evening, 1 week from tonight, we will have more of this. More of Ghosts of Saltmaw, and we shall go down to the planet and hopefully not die horribly in one of these wooded areas. But I am looking forward to checking it out. So, right now, I don't actually have any signups running, but I will again soon, once I've figured out what it is that we're doing. I'm probably we're probably gonna be doing Become sometime soon. That's as a one shot. That's gonna be, it's a AI private investigators basically. A game that I want to try out. Hopefully we'll be able to work that. I'm in the process of rescheduling some things, so I don't know exactly, but I want to get a good run up to the time that it's going to happen. But if you want to sign up for anything, you go down and click on RPG sign up, or go to jimyesthatjim.com and click on game sign up. As always, beginners are welcome. So when we hit the end card, I am going to send a raid over to Matev 7. The dreadful beat of DJ Strahd is back. So I want to go over there and say hi to them as they do their very laser and music and wrestling focused 1980s world version of Ravenloft, basically. So I definitely want to go and check that out. Feel free to hang on if you are so inclined and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week. Farewell.